The fourth and final part of the research to practice assignment is the research to practice application tool, and that's due December 6th, so it's due at the end of the semester. But again, it still builds on everything we've been covering throughout the semester in terms of your research project. So you're going to be developing an instructional tool that helps make the research that you've done more accessible to a practitioner in the field. It's not something that they're going to be using, for example, it's not something a student is going to be using to be able to do their work. It's not something somebody in the field will be using to do their work, but more so a professional development tool for teachers or for trainers to be able to use to really help them understand how to better use evidence-based research within a practitioner setting. So it's going to be your job to really translate the research into practice. So it's really a professional development tool. And so what it's going to do is still include the same exact information. It's going to talk about the theory. It's going to talk about the research, but it's going to use the perspective of the practitioner. And I would encourage you to consult with a practitioner when you're developing this tool to really ensure that the message is clear and it's really applicable within the field. So what you want to do is really draw upon the research, the perspective of the practitioner and your theory in order to be able to come up with this real-world tool that's based on up-to-date information. It's something that you should be able to use if you're ever in a position where you're going to be training teachers, or if you're asked, for example, by your supervisor to provide a training on this specific topic to your practitioner colleagues. This is something that you can use and you can show to them in order to be able to help with the training process. So it could be part of the training, it could be your whole training, but it's something you should be able to use and that integrates the perspectives of both theory and research and the practitioner in making informed decisions. Again, it's not an instructional tool for use with students in the classrooms. And it's being graded on the same kind of things that have been graded in the past, being able to have creative and thoughtful, innovative presentation of ideas, application of the two main ideas or concepts, detailed application of the research studies. It's evident that you are taking the information from those 5 sources that you've been using throughout, and your tool should you be using innovative technology. So there's a bunch of different options out there. Again, there's some fun options. RSA Animate is pretty cool. Versal is pretty cool. There's a lot of different tools out there that you can use to make this nice. A lot of my students in the past have used Wix, and the example I'm going to show you is using Wix. So that's a website that you can do as well. And so again, the rubric, you get 2 points for providing critical, thoughtful, and innovative presentation of ideas, 2 points for providing detailed application of the 2 main ideas, 2 points for providing detailed application of the research studies. So that should be obvious to me that you're using those studies. The references are cited somewhere, and you're using innovative technology. So let me show you the example for that differentiated instruction. I wanted to show you one across the board. So here's a Wix page on differentiated instruction. You have information about the website. You have a differentiated instruction page. There's resources, and there's a checklist that was created. And so if you click on differentiated instruction, for example, you can click on each of these links to learn more. So what's differentiated instruction? It provides you the definition. It talks to you about the different theories, about the different learning environments related to differentiated instruction. And then if you want to look at the developing teachers, it provides you information from the resources about important ways to integrate that as a teacher in terms of professional development, which was your second theme. So what you see here is that both themes are being represented. So remember, the first theme had to do with how do you differentiate instruction in the classroom, and then the second one was providing professional development and planning time to teachers to help them with being able to differentiate instruction. You then have your resources. So she provides examples of differentiated instruction, examples and non-examples, a teacher's guide, and some other resources. And then there's a checklist. So there's a differentiated instruction checklist, which you can download. And so that's a pretty basic way for teachers to be able to learn more about differentiated instruction in the process, acquire some resources, and that embeds the evidence base from the research studies. So it doesn't have to be too complicated, but it should be something that's user-friendly, that provides the teachers with information, and that's applicable for the practitioner, whether it be the teacher or a practitioner in the field. Again, if you want me to review this ahead of time, I'm happy to do so. If you turn it into me at least a week prior to December 6th, I know it's not due to December 6th, but it's something to keep in the back of your head throughout the semester as you're working on your other aspects of the assignment. And that's it.